PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds has been one crazy ride to be on since the launching back in 2017 in its early access form. Since its early days back then, I have been a huge fan, an avid player, and its biggest supporter and its biggest critic. With the release of Vikendi, the new snow map, and its recent release on the PS4, one starts to wonder if these are the things needed to bring the title back to where the gamers want it to be, and more importantly, to be in gamers' mind. Are we starting to see a path for Battlegrounds to come back? Or is this just a desperate dying gasp? What else can they do? In today's Getting Perspective, I will do my best to tackle these questions in covering my main point. Where does PUBG stand for me? A personal essay to describe the journey I have experienced with this game. So without further ado, let's get to it. I hate this game, but I love every minute I play. This is how I would spark know how I feel about the game. Ever since my first match on Battlegrounds, this has been one of those games I keep coming back to. I mean, I don't play as frequently as I used to, but this is still a top choice when it comes to what I can play, when I can play. Sure, this title has been beaten around by its competition and even its own makers, but one cannot deny the charm this game has to this day. And with the new releases and the updates, you can see that it's not downhill. The last month of 2018 really showed how good updates can positively affect the game. Excluding January 2018, PUBG counts were falling every month, and it made sense. The game gets a full release, but then soon after there's a fixed PUBG campaign, which caused a halt on meaningful updates to the game. Also add the rise of popularity of Fortnite, which dominated 2018, and that definitely overtook PUBG and decimated its crowd. You see why PUBG was falling. And to end the year, you would think the final nail would come from the release of the highly polished Blackout from Call of Duty, because it offered a similar military experience that wasn't Fortnite, which you would think would completely sink PUBG. But here we are, and PUBG isn't looking like it's going anywhere yet. So what do I love about PUBG? Why are people still playing? Well, I can't speak for everyone, but my loyalty and enjoyment from this game comes from playing with my friends. And I know saying that sounds weird because a game's enjoyment is based on friends, but to me, what's been fantastic about PUBG is the firefights you get as a group. Sure, I enjoy the solo experience sometimes, but fighting as a group is where it's at for me, and that's why I enjoy it the most, and that's what my friends enjoy the most. It is our go-to game still so far. Though, we do have a lot of fun, but because of lack of frequency now that I play, I've been kind of getting noobish.
Oh shit! Are you kidding me?
The firefights in squad, I feel that are intense, and if you survive, you get that rush of victory. I'm like, damn, we survived that, woohoo! Like, playing PUBG satisfies that methodical gamer in me by picking up the right loot, thinking of the right combinations, thinking of where to go, where to rotate to. Like, it really satisfies those types of feelings that I have as a gamer. I think the shooting is fun and it's top notch into what it offers, and it's one of my favorite parts of it. Overall, I think the gunplay offered is the almost perfect version of a realistic battle royale. When it comes to how you fight, we have to look into the maps. At this point in time, PUBG has 4 maps, 3 which are enjoyable and loved by the community. Miramar sucks. Each map does provide a different battleground, which makes players change the way they are trying to play the game. My personal favorite at the moment is the new Vikendi map, as it is for a lot of other people. And this is backed up by looking at the player count I showed earlier. But what is good about Vikendi? Well, Vikendi brings this new feel of a not destroyed world. Erangel and Miramar were wastelands in just different regions. Sandhawk did a little bit better of making you feel like a world with the small villages, but it didn't help the wasteland feeling. Vikendi feels like people actually lived here at some point. Sure, they're still destroyed towns and stuff, but the towns Man, the towns are so fun to walk through, and when you get into firefights in the town, it's a lot of fun. Sure, they don't happen frequently, but those moments where you have to look around and feel like you're just battling in a city instead of just like emptiness makes a big difference in my opinion. That is what Vikendi does well, and I think that's why a lot of people do enjoy it. So as a core of what a game should do right, I think PUBG does that, and it does it mostly well. Though if you think that is enough to hold it together and hold it as a competition in the marketplace, I have to say it's just not enough. And you see that. We see that with the numbers and the competition. PUBG still has flaws, and the flaws that are holding it back, in my opinion, fall into three very specific things. The event pass system, the loot box system, and the fact that it's not the same experience across the board. The event pass system is just PUBG's way of trying to capitalize on the very successful battle pass system introduced by Fortnite. That is a safe argument to make, and with that statement, that is the basis of what I'm going to use to compare how good the event pass system is. And to be honest, it is not that good. If we're comparing it to that standard, the event pass just falls really short. And I want to make it clear that even though PUBG is a paid game, I am not mad that they introduced an event pass system, and I don't think that battle pass like systems in paid games is a bad thing, because in this age of games being monetized all the time with different ways in trying to get your money, the battle pass system is at least a good way of trying to be fair and not be behind shitty loot boxes. But anyways, the event pass falls short on one big thing that I think the battle pass system does very well, and that is the battle pass system pays for itself. The event pass system does not. From everything that I've seen from the two implementations of the event pass system in PUBG, I have seen nothing that allows you to repurchase the event pass. Both passes you've needed to drop $10 for every time if you wanted to get the perks of going through the pass. And to be honest, that is pretty grimy. Because then now going to the question of paid games, that is where this thing sucks. You're essentially paying a subscription every couple of months to continue getting fresh or good content. Sure, maybe the maps are unlocked behind the event pass, but the fact the main appeal are cosmetic items and skins and all that stuff, that's where I draw the line. The other thing that doesn't help the event pass system is that it's just not compelling. Why? It's because the awards are okay. They've gotten better, especially in this season, but they're just not that exciting, at least to me, compared to what the battle pass offers in Fortnite. Not only that, the challenges seem extra grindy here to keep you busy into playing the game, and that kind of busy challenge is annoying and it doesn't really help. The one plus side that Fortnite has is that it has those casual modes like Team Rumble, where if you wanted to, within a couple of matches, you can get those done and that's it, and continue playing Fortnite how you like. In PUBG, you always have to sacrifice your actual PUBG experience to try to get these challenges done, and that seems kind of annoying. I personally found myself just trying to play the game and I got lucky and got some challenges, but for the most part, like, it's been a grind to get through them. And I'm not the only one who feels like that. Reading online, I've seen a lot of people complain how grindy the event pass system has been. It's just not a good competitor, but I do have to give it credit because I think with some tweaking, I would hope that it will remove the next thing I'm going to talk about, and that is loot boxes. So I have made no clear effort in hiding my disdain for microtransactions in the past, especially these loot boxes. They are garbage money-making mechanisms to prey on kids and people who may fall into gambling addiction-like habits. I, on a fundamental level, cannot get behind the idea of working hard in a game and grinding in a game for a chance to get something. I want that out of my video games, period. And PUBG, God, it is the most frustrating experience I've ever witnessed, and honestly the poorest implementation I've seen flat out on the board. The fact that you get one item per pack and you have the chance of getting the same item over and over again makes me so livid. Like, Anyways, this is the only real thing you get from playing the game. Now, sure, nowadays when you play a match, you get two types of rewards. You get Season XP and you get BP. But Season XP just helps you throughout the event pass and for the season ranking and stuff like that. But BP is your basically in-game currency. And the only thing you can get with BP is loot boxes. Nothing else. Everything else is tied to G-Coins, PUBG's version of V-Bucks, or even worse, on the PC version, they still have these stupid keys behind crates. So by playing the game, you just get stuck with just these shitty loot boxes as your reward. And that is something I cannot let slide no matter how good the game ever gets. I don't know, I think progression is important for games to keep people invested in the long term. Pro players and anyone who wants to do this professionally or have a desire to play long term will play long term. But for the regular casual consumer like myself and many others, a good progression system is what keeps you in the game. And PUBG just doesn't have that right now. It's not a good experience to keep me coming. I've said multiple times, the only reason I come back to this game is because I have friends. I think the minute my friends dropped PUBG, I'm probably dropping it too. And with just saying that, I know progression isn't on the top of the list of mine, but it's pretty high up there. You know what is irresponsible? The next thing. How the game feels across all platforms. It is now 2019 and I still can't believe how big of a discrepancy PUBG is across the board. Depending on where you play, you're pretty much guaranteed to experience a different kind of game. Not by much, but just enough where it kind of irks you the wrong way. And this falls into two things: content and technical performance. It is wild to me that a multi-platform game can vary so dramatically in content. Let us take a look at the release of Vikendi, the new snow map that just came out. On PC, it came out on December 19th. On mobile, it came out the next day on December 20th. When did consoles get it? Right about, I think, a month after, on January 22nd. I don't know about you, but the fact that a mobile version of a game gets content before the console is a huge slap to the face to consumers. Mobile has things even PC doesn't, like auto-equip attachments, and it got the season ranking systems way before the PC ever did. Like, how in the world are these things getting slid by? And I know exactly why it's happening, which is why it makes it worse in my mind, because they have a solution. The reason the mobile game is a top-notch and can keep up with any PC changes or even improve upon it is because that team is outsourced. Bluehole PUBG Core gave the dev rights to the mobile version to someone else, and they are making sure the game runs and manages the game. Why are they not doing that with their console version? The main original team is doing both console and PC, and it's very clear to me that they can manage the PC version fine, though it was slow, but they've gotten together in PC and the PC experience is pretty solid. But my god, the console version, jeez, every time I play, and especially since the release of Vikendi, my technical performance on my Xbox One S is just horrendous. I've never experienced a multi-platform game that runs poorly depending on where I play. Sure, we've heard those experiences of bad ports to PC and whatnot, but for the most part, if a game is multi-platform, it is stable on all platforms. And this is just getting ridiculous, and I think this is the biggest thing that is hurting them, because for me, honestly, yeah, I have it on PC and console, but I focus on console. I'm a console player. It is not right for you to give such a drastic experience to your player base just because of where they decided to play your game. PUBG still has a lot of work to do, and I think the flaws I mentioned here, if corrected, could give at least PUBG a fighting competitive path. I enjoy the game, I still love playing it, but I do hate the management that is being done with this game and the decisions they make to try to reward players. They need to tweak the event pass, they have to get rid of the loot crates, and they need to ensure all platforms have a decent similar experience and are on a technical same level. This is my reflection on PUBG and my opinions. Getting perspective is all about that, getting perspective. So with that, I leave you with this question. What keeps you playing, or what made you leave? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this content here, I would love for you to join my journey by hitting that subscribe button. Share with my friends and leave a like to support the work I do. Stay tuned weekly for all types of gaming content like these topic videos. This is Perspective Gaming. I'm your host Flame078, logging off for now, and until next time, adios.